Hi, this is Mike Del Ponte, the founder of Sparkseed, and this is the first of 3 videos in a series about networking at public events. So these are the type of events like a conference or a lecture or a panel discussion, and what I'm going to do is tell you how to get the meeting with the person in the front of the room, the keynote speaker or the panelists. I'd like to recommend a great book called Never Eat Alone. It's probably the best book on networking. If you haven't read it, definitely check it out. So let's jump right into things. What I'm going to discuss today in this video is what you should be doing before you attend the event to prepare. So here's the first thing that most people overlook. You should spend some time researching the person that you'd like to meet. And here's exactly what I do when I research someone. This could take anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. It's up to you. But the key is, 1, familiarize yourself with the person, and 2, find unique information that other people would never find. And that's really going to be a great discussion starter. So of course you're going to Google the person and go to their company website and their LinkedIn to find out about their professional and academic background. But you really want to get into the good stuff and find out information that other people don't know. So for example, one hack that I'd recommend is try Googling them and use quotations and say by and their whole name. So for example, in quotations you could put by Mike Del Ponte. Now if you did this, you'd get really different results than if you just put Mike Del Ponte. So for example, a few funny and unique things that you might learn about me if you did this, and I just did it so I can tell you it's true, is 1, I wrote a rap about Gandhi and Web 2.0. 2, I recently sponsored a friend who is growing a mustache for charity. And 3, there are a number of blog posts which I've written and also a number of interviews that people have done with me which really tell you a lot about my personality and my opinions. So try that out and try and get that unique information that you can use when you start the conversation with that person. Of course, you're going to look to see if they have a Twitter account. If they do, check their Twitter feed. It's a great place to find out a lot about their opinions, what they're interested in, maybe their hobbies, what they're linking to, who they are following. You could also find out some recent activities. So if they tweet, hey, I'm at the Social World Forum, you can talk to them about that. So Twitter is a must, and again, it can only be 5 minutes, and you'll find a lot of information about that. The other website that I'd recommend is Delicious. If they have a Delicious account, you can see what they've been tagging recently, what they think is interesting online. For example, I've been really looking into outsourcing some of my work, so I've been tagging a lot of things about hiring a virtual assistant. So if you looked at my Delicious account and you knew that, you could start a conversation and maybe add value when we talk about advice you'd give to me. And then lastly, just ask around. Do you know anyone who knows that person or knows some unique information about them? The second thing that you're going to do is reach out to that person. Now, of course, you can reach out via email, and I'll show you a sample email in a second, but you can also reach out via Twitter. I actually had someone do this to me. We started conversing on Twitter, and I hired him a couple months ago to run my summer internship program. So that's a great thing to consider, is connecting via Twitter. But let me show you a sample email that I use with a CEO who recently provided tens of thousands of dollars of in-kind support to my organization. So the first thing you'll notice is that I have a subject line which is pretty unique. Most people wouldn't get it, but he will, so it shows that I know a little bit about him that other people may not. And what I do is I show him why I'm writing, because I'm going to meet him at this conference, the LOHAS Forum. I give a little legitimacy that I recently graduated from a good school and I run a nonprofit. And I'm building relationships around a few things. We both live in the Bay Area. He started a company when he was my age, and he goes to a church that I know about, and I went to divinity school. So these are things that he may find interesting that we could talk about. And lastly, I do the ask. Can we meet up at a time? Basically making it very convenient for him. So once you've reached out, building that relationship, whether or not they respond, you're on their radar. And the last thing you're going to do is prepare. Now this can only take 5 minutes. It's really simple, but you want to have something to talk about when you actually meet the person, or when they're speaking, perhaps you'll ask a question during the session. And there are 2 things that you can do really quickly. It could be praise. So show that you know about them. Hey, I love your new book, especially when you wrote X, Y, and Z. Be very specific. And some questions that you may want to ask when you're raising your hand or when you meet them. And again, be very specific. So those are the 3 things you're going to do. You're going to research, reach out, and prepare. And in the next 2 videos, I'll tell you what to do at the event.